Hello, happy Tuesday. Right at 7 o'clock on the dot. Let's let the YouTubes do their job, but we are here. My fall stuff is framed so beautifully. I'm pretty sure that was there last week, but it's fun for me to see nonetheless. Hello, friends. Look who remembered to put her phone on Do Not Disturb and mute the computer. Solid day, solid day. Let's see who else here. The chat roll was rolling when I got here, with Lissa and Rosie being the first ones to talk, and Pam is here, and Janine is here, and Sarah is here. Yay for the glitter pumpkin. I know. I filmed behind that background today, and I'm not gonna, or in front of that background today, and it made me really happy just to see glitter pumpkin hanging out there. I love glitter pumpkin. I need a winter, spring, and summer equivalent to glitter pumpkin. I really do, because like glitter pumpkin's small and concise, but it is hands down my favorite piece of fall decor. Like, cause it's just so simple and pretty, and I don't know, it looks really nice just sitting there. I love it. I love it. Anyway, hello. I'm so glad you all are here. Apparently my voice is not so glad that you all are here, but we're gonna make do. Hi, Lindsay. Thanks for coming. I see we got a couple thumbs up. Rosie will be back in a bit. Sounds good, Rosie, with her macaroon next to her name now. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, man. What a week. Last week, Amy, hello. If you ever come up with a merch line, Glitter Pumpkin needs to be part of it. Glitter, yes. Yes, if I ever come up with a merch line. Maybe one of these days. Who knows? Who knows? Yes, but I love my glitter pumpkin. And what was I about to say? Did anybody else feel that last week, because last week was Labor Day weekend, right? Was that just last week? No, that was 2 weeks ago. That was a couple weeks ago. I'm out of my mind. Lori, hello. Happy Tuesday. For whatever reason, last week felt like the fastest and longest week all at the same time. Thursday night, I was sitting in the living room, like thinking about life and my day and everything else that I had to do that like the rest of that week. And it took convincing to make me believe that the next day was Friday. I was like, no, what day is today? There's no way tomorrow's Friday. And I looked at my husband, I was like, is tomorrow Friday? Yeah. Like, you ever have one of those days where, like, it wasn't just, oh, it doesn't feel like it, but it was legitimately, like, it did not compute that Friday was upon us. It was a weird week last week. It was a very, very weird week. I feel like I spent most of last week in bed. Well, did you spend most of last week in bed? Because then it feels right. What is the green? What is the green? Oh, is that a dot on my computer? Oh, it's a dot on my computer. I see a green dot right here. And apparently it's not, and I thought it was on my bookshelf. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I would be aware if there was a neon green dot on my bookshelf. But anyway, I thought tomorrow was Thursday. Oh no. It's always worse when you think it's like days later than it actually is. That is definitely worse than going, wait, it's already Friday? How did that happen? But with just the crummy sleep I got last week, I didn't feel like I accomplished anything, at least anything spectacular. But that's neither here nor there. Let's chat, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we start with some highs and lows for the week? Highs and lows is where we share our celebrations, our best things that have happened, and if we want, we can share our struggles as well, make them known to our little community here. And what's my high? So my high will kind of springboard us into the conversation. So I'll dabble on this a little bit, but I have been tracking revamped calories and macros for yesterday and today, and have been killing it. Today's tracker is literal perfection. I have within the 1 gram, I think, my protein goal and my fat goal, and within like the 10 grams or whatever of the carb goal, which actually isn't 10 grams because in order to get the macros I wanted on my iTrack Bites tracker, I have to track more calories than are actually available to me. So it is a perfect tracker, and I'm so proud. And that has literally been the thing that has prevented me from eating whatever I wanted multiple times today. Multiple times. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just eat this thing instead. No, I literally busted open my tracker and was like, it's a perfect tracker. Don't screw it up. And I didn't. And it feels really, really good. So that's my high. And my low is I haven't officially submitted the RSVP, but we decided today, and I have informed the bride that one of my good friends from back home, we are not going to her wedding because of the COVID risk, which is such a bummer. Such a bummer. Her wedding's in October. And it's hard to say no to when it's a good friend of mine from my accountability buddy, Jess, the one who checks in on me with my tracker. It's her wedding. And it's hard to say no knowing that some of my favorite people on this planet that I'm not related to will all be in that room, and we're not going. Like, it just, ugh. Especially with the year we've had of like not seeing anybody, kills. It kills. So that's definitely the low for the week. And the final decision was made literally like 2 hours ago. So that's my high and low. You spent Thursday through Saturday in bed. I couldn't remember when you got sick. I know you were sick this week. I just couldn't remember for how long and when and all that jazz. So does anybody else have highs and lows that they would like to share? Since the chat roll is a little bit quiet, did we not have, oh, there's Lissa's. I'm like, did we not have any good things happen to us this week, people? I've been killing my goals these last 2 days, doing super well at my new calorie goal, keeping things clean, getting stuff done super early, and I just feel really good emotionally. That is amazing. And I can guarantee you it has everything to do with the fact that you decluttered your space. I can guarantee you that that is a huge component to it, which is very, very exciting. So keep it up, because that's awesome. It's really great to feel that way, isn't it? And it's the reason why I think I default to cleaning when I'm overwhelmed. What do? Every time without fail, if I don't want to work or I don't want to create content, I default to housewifing, because there's something very cleansing emotionally when you cleanse your crap away, you know? So I'm always cleaning and organizing or tidying and getting rid of stuff, because it helps me emotionally to cope with whatever it is I'm trying to cope with. I don't know what sort of disorder you want to call that, but it really is, what is her next book? We're in the Diva and the Divine Book Club, which is meeting on Thursday. We are reading Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin. And I'm very behind on my reading, but I've been reading the heck out of it the last 2 days, and it is gold. This book is gold. And the power hour concept that I've been using for ages, I got from this book. And I forgot that I got it from this book until I highlighted it yesterday. And I was like, oh, this is where I got that. It's literally in my calendar every day. And she's who I got it from. Her next book, which I have not read, is called Outer Order, Inner Calm. And it needs to be on my list, because this one is just reminding me how much I like her. So there's really something to that. What a hard decision to make. Went back home last month and couldn't hug many of my friends. Yeah, it's, it's so hard. Low, still dealing with the residual sinus stuff from being sick this week. And Rosie's back. And Miranda is running while she's listening to us. So everyone say hi to Miranda, even though she can only hear me because she's not looking at the chat roll. Go you, Lissa. Yes, I decluttered the bathroom cupboard and the countertop, now for the rest of the place. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. What does it say in the book? A Secret of Adulthood. So Gretchen Rubin has all of these secrets of adulthood that she sputters throughout the book. And I've been highlighting every single one of them. And one of her secrets of adulthood is that it will get messier before it gets cleaner. And that's okay. So just keep that in mind, and literally do just one thing at a time. When I explode a mess, which happens often when I'm decluttering, in order to get things back into place, I have to remind myself, literally pick up one item and take care of that, and then the next item and take care of that. One item at a time, and eventually there will be no more items. It feels overwhelming, but that is it's more random, doesn't read like a book. Interesting. So have you read Better Than Before? If you've read Better Than Before, would you recommend it? That's interesting and helpful feedback, Sarah. Thank you. See, I usually default to other things to avoid cleaning, so this is a new experience for me. Fair enough. No, cleaning is 100% my default. When there's nothing else I want to do, I will clean something. Or when there's stuff that I do want, that I want to avoid and procrastinate, I will clean. I just bought auto ordering calm because I had a discount. I've really been enjoying better than before. I feel like it's a miss of every conversation we've had over the past year, sprinkled with tidbits from past book club books. Yeah. And that's kind of how the book club ultimately ended up being designed, right? Like with your guys' feedback, you were the one that that said we should start with this and start with this, and then this kind of puts all those things together and whatnot. Did I skip? There we go. Lindsay's high. 10 rounds is getting easier. Low, feeling discouraged with maintenance, which we talked about earlier today. But 10 rounds getting easier is so good, considering the fact that literally last Wednesday, was it last week that it made everybody want to cry? Like, it was just horrible. It was horrible. It was Wednesday, right? That sounds right. It was bad. It was really bad. Everybody was discouraged. So the fact that it's getting easier is better. Our buddy John is here. We do, in fact, have a gentleman for ladies and gentlemen. Hi, my son and his lady friend came out from Ohio. Low, it seems like we celebrated him being here. We ate everything in sight. That does happen, but what is more important, like, okay, so you enjoyed the visit. That's fine. What are you going to do today to make sure that you get right back on track? That's the thing. That's usually how we all falter, right? Especially in this weight loss journey. And I'm thinking about this in real time as I'm getting ready to go to Illinois for Alice's birthday party this weekend. I'm just starting this new. It's not really new because it's pretty much exactly what I've been doing, just with stricter numbers. But I have this new motivation. I'm in a new course. I'm working on new things, right? And I've been killing it 2 days with perfect macros, right? And this party's coming up. And yesterday, I don't know if Christina's going to hop on here or not, but I texted her and I was like, all right, so I have this lofty protein goal of 140 grams of protein, right? So I'm like, all right, text me the entire menu so I could look at it and be like, oh, I can bring this to add to this. I can, figure out what kind of protein's on the menu. There's no protein on the menu whatsoever. There's sausage for cheese and crackers, but it's a 4-year-old's birthday party. The main courses are pizza and cupcakes. So I expected it, but I was like, really? There's nothing that I can even add protein to. Come on. And so she and I were both talking about it because she also eats higher protein and has to watch her food and all that jazz. So at least we're on the same page. And she's like, well, maybe I'll make you chicken for dinner the night before so we have leftovers that we can throw on the salads and do whatever. And I'm already planning for what can I control while I'm gone this weekend? And what protein can I make sure I eat? So when I have a piece of pizza, because I will have a piece of pizza, and you better believe I will be having a cupcake. You better believe it, because cake is pretty much my favorite food. So how can we were just talking about you, or rather your lack of protein on the birthday menu this weekend. Did the birthday girl have a good day? I assume you being here means she's in bed. She's not in bed this early, is she? Alice's birthday is today. My little monster is 4 years old. 4 years old. And I called her first thing this morning and she was already dressed like a princess, complete with a crown and princess heels. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had pancakes for dinner. Nice. She's looking at me. She's looking at me. Happy birthday, Alice. We were talking about the birthday party and the lack of protein on the menu and how I'm using the information you gave me to kind of plan ahead, right? So my point in saying all of that, John, is okay, so you did the thing, so just you can hop back on track because you didn't necessarily plan for it. Hi. Aw. She's cute. She's cute, that little 4-year-old. Let's see. Hi. Rosie's high. Halfway through 10 rounds, I'm feeling like I'm getting stronger, and I think my body is shrinking a bit. Rosie, I was listening to your stories today, and they made me so happy. Low. I realized today that I'm only down about 9 pounds in the last 90 days. I had a screw it day, which of course is not going to help. No, it is not going to help. Today was your screw it day. Don't screw it. Oh, now Miranda's talking to me too. Don't say screw it. Like it's okay. And girl, today, what did I say in the not insiders group, in the members only group today? Today, ladies and gentlemen, I weigh the least I've weighed since April. So I'm finally the lowest I've been since quarantine started, which isn't saying a whole lot, to be completely honest with you. It's not saying a whole lot, but the truth is today has been my lowest weigh-in day since April. It's September 22nd, ladies and gentlemen. So don't let it discourage you, Rosie. Stay the course, which is what I did during these 2 weeks of me getting so angry with the scale that I was this close to chucking it through a wall or something. And then alas, yesterday, is when the weight started coming down again. 1.3 loss after not weighing in over the weekend and being frustrated as all get out because my period weight never went away. A week and a half later, never went away. And then boom, 1.3 down yesterday, and I'm down, another 0.8 today or something? Like, I don't know. Now I have to see what Miranda's talking about. There's so much happening, and I love it. Maybe read a sample chapter. Good tips, but I did find it overwhelming. I'll send you a screenshot. That would be very helpful. Thank you, Sarah. Last Wednesday and Friday, I struggled again. Struggling is okay, Rosie. It's okay to struggle. We all struggle. I was watching what I eat before this, and I swear you're me from a few years. Like, protein. I'll see you in the plant-based world in 3 years. Oh, my friend, you will not see me in the plant-based world. You will not. But what's really funny is I saw on Instagram your recipe for the smoothie or whatever, and I said out loud, I'm like, where's the protein? My dear friend, I love you. I will never be as lean as you were when you were cutting and doing all the protein. I will never. Primarily because I'm not entirely sure my body is capable of putting on that much muscle. Like, truly. No protein. Exactly. That's why I was like, the look on my face, like, you would have laughed at me if you saw me react to your story. Because I was like, where's the protein? Because I make shakes for protein, not for the carbs. I'd rather eat my carbs, which I plan on doing. What's nice about the macros that I'm currently trying to hit, and what is no protein? Exactly. The macros I'm trying to hit, I still get to eat the last serving of my peach cobbler, which has no protein in it. It is straight sugar and butter and all the baked goodness. That's worked into my day today. And I still perfectly hit everything, which made me so stinking happy. But as I've been looking at this course that I'm taking, Miranda, and paying closer attention to macros, I have been thinking of you all day today. It has been happening, but I will never be as lean as you because I don't think it's possible for my body to do. I love meat. Me too. I've been pretty good about protein. I'm not obsessing. Today was a lower day, 128 grams, which is a great number. That's a great number. Struggling means you're still fighting. You don't struggle if you quit. I like that, Lissa. That's very, very true. I don't think mine is anymore. The muscle was once in a lifetime. For real, for me, it's like my goal weight. When I hit 135 and was skin and bones, and then once the scale started going back up, now I realize I'm probably never going to see that number ever again, which is fine. But like, oh, it was fun while it was there. Great. That was wonderful. But now let's figure out something a little bit more realistic for my body. But yeah, I've been thinking of you all day today. Thought of you when I was prepping my potatoes for dinner tonight. I also think of Miranda when I eat potatoes. Yep. To be fair, I didn't totally mess up, but I've done quite a bit of emotional eating, but I'm back to it now. Good. You came back. There aren't many people who have had weight loss surgery who are plant-based because it's incredibly hard to hit your protein goals with the smaller servings. Yep. I believe that. Like today, it was hard for me to hit my protein goal because I'm technically not at it yet, but like the thing that is making me hit my goal today is a Quest shake, and I've consumed half of it, and it's really interesting, and you guys can hear it here first. So I am doing the Macros 101 course and this is going to be a reverse process here, by Amber Brewski. I'm looking down because I have her name pulled up here, at Biceps After Babies. That is her brand name, right? I learned about her course and her 5-day challenge from Katie Crocus, who is the nutritionist who's going through the same nutrition program that I'm going through, who is responsible for the ZPO recipe that I've been talking about, the zucchini pumpkin oat bread. That is her recipe. I learned about Katie through Mindy. The Power of Doing, she used to be the Power of Doing WW, but now she's the Power of Doing ML. Mindy, what is her? Lewis, I think her last name is. Mindy Lewis. And she's who I follow. So that's the train that got me to this Macros 101 course. And it's something that's a little bit more accountability. I thrive better when I invest in myself financially because I don't like to waste money, so I have to do the thing, right? And it's something else for me to learn. Basically, what I've learned about 2020 is this is the year that Brianna learns all the things and takes all the courses to better prepare herself to impart knowledge to all of you guys when I open up my own nutrition practice next year. Like, that's basically what I'm learning. So I am, instead of trying to figure out all these approaches myself, I'm going to professionals to teach me the process. And I love Mindy's profile. Exactly. Mindy is one of my people. A lot of you look to me for inspiration. Mindy's one of the people I go to. I adore her. I think she's wonderful. And so the things that she posts and she says, I take to heart. And I really enjoy what she's doing. And right now she's reverse dieting, and she just hit her official maintenance mode, which is like 2,400 calories and craziness. And basically one day my goal in life is to be able to eat like her and look like her all at the same time. Yeah, so that's the reverse process. Mindy is what got me to this Macros 101 course. Let's see. To be fair, I didn't totally mess up. I'm trying to figure out where I was. It just sucks that I won't win the diet bet. It's not over yet, Rosie. It's not over yet. Like, I literally, was it in this vlog that I posted today that I said, I don't know if I will win? My body clearly has a mind of its own, and it held on to weight like a week longer than I expected it to. A week? I expected my period to like come, and like day 2 of my period, all the bloat that I had been fighting with fizzle. I expected it all to disappear because I've been on track, and it did not disappear until a week later, and then poof, vanished. Like, so I don't know. There's nothing, like, it is entirely possible that I don't know, eat the cupcake this weekend and my body puts on 5 pounds and I lose the diet bet too. It is entirely possible. I'm going to do everything under my control to not let that happen. But at the end of the day, you can only control what you can control, which for me is food, water, sleep, exercise, right? I can't control what the scale says. So, Rosie, don't give up. Don't give up on me. Do this with me. And, oh, I forgot about the freaking s'mores, Christina. I knew there was another sweet thing that I was going to end up eating. The s'mores. I can pass on the ice cream. But the s'mores, I can't pass on, especially if we've got fire outside. Yeah, I can't pass on that. And I can't pass on a cupcake. But I can limit it to 1 cupcake. What kind are you making? You're making like Pillsbury cupcakes, right? Like 1 and done? Yeah, new fire pit means s'mores. So I already know that I'm going to be eating some of the things that I wouldn't necessarily be eating this weekend. But I also know, thankfully, it makes me very happy that there's now somebody else in this house, that is on board with like the protein life and the calorie counting life and all that, because now I can go there and know that there's going to be at least something that will fit my plan, which is really, really nice to have somebody else there to be like, oh yeah, we have this. It's prepped. It's here. It's ready. So that's incredibly helpful to me, which is also why I'm looking forward to going to Florida and spending time with my in-laws, because my mother-in-law has been on Weight Watchers and killing it. And so now she's on track with that way of eating too, which means I have less to worry about when I go there. You have protein powder to make smoothie? I know you do. I'm sharing with the world, Christina. I understand we've already had this conversation. And also, you're going to have to teach me how to make all the devotion nutrition things that you've been making, because people keep asking me about them. And I'm like, I didn't do it. That was my sister, and I just stole her recipe. So you're going to have to teach me those things too. But it'll be great. We'll figure it out. And if I don't perfectly hit the macros and the calories, it's okay. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Can you share? I saw, Nancy, was that the first thing you posted? I think so. Hi, new here. Can you please share what workout programs you use? Primarily, I have been using 3 separate workout programs. I use, 4. So I have subscriptions to 2 services currently. Beachbody On Demand, which is the one you hear about with all the coaches and the Shakeology and the whatever. I'm not a Beachbody coach. Don't spend your money on Shakeology unless you really want it. I think you can find better protein shakes and stuff elsewhere. But the Beachbody On Demand app is stellar. And the workout programs they have are stellar. And within the Beachbody On Demand app, the 2 programs, I'm currently in the middle of 10 rounds. We are in week 4 of 6. So tomorrow I will be, 2/3 of the way there, something like that. Shakeology is icky in my opinion. I had the strawberry Shakeology and I actually really liked it. But what I didn't like was that it was so many calories and not even 20 grams of protein. So I am of the, let's buy the simplest, best tasting protein powder we can that gives you a bang of protein for your buck, and put everything else in there. Put the veggies in for vitamins and put the almond butter in for fat. Build your own smoothie that contains more protein. That's how I am. And you can get it for a lot cheaper than Shakeology. Shakeology is like $120 a month. No thanks. But the strawberry one was very good. And so I've been doing 10 rounds. My favorite workout on that app is called Lift 4. It is by the same trainer, and it has put on a ton of muscle relative to what my body considers to be a ton of muscle on my body. My husband is in like his 3rd round of it. He did 10 rounds for about a week, decided it wasn't for him because his shoulders and his knees bother him, and he's back on Lift 4, and he loves Lift 4. He's going to probably do Lift 4 from now until the end of time. He loves it. And then we also have currently the Les Mills on-demand subscription, where I do Body Pump and occasionally Body Combat. So those are the programs that I am regularly using. And also, hi, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I still get 60 to 80 grams of protein a day, no meat subs, all food plant-based, but I know everyone has their personal goals. Yeah, Miranda and I tease each other about protein all the time. It jumped down. I jumped way down. There we go. Oh, Christina already answered the question for me. That's how behind on the comments I am, you guys. Give me a hot second to catch up here. Not about the vegan life. I don't count calories. I just watch my carb intake and portion sizes. Sarah, sometimes that's all you need. Some people know exactly what their body does and doesn't thrive on. And I don't know yet. This specific macro counting thing is going to be interesting for me for a while, because I'm going to truly learn based on feedback what my body actually does and doesn't need. Because I live off of the belief that I need all of this protein. And for my body, it makes a lot of sense. I have to work a lot harder to create muscle and to keep muscle from going away. Because if you're in a cut, it's easy to lose muscle mass. If you have a disease that eats your muscles, it's also easy to lose muscle mass. So in my scientific brain, more protein is smart for me. But that begs the question, do I need more carbs or do I need more fat? Which is going to help my body fuel optimally? And this experiment with the macros class that I'm doing is going to teach me that, which I'm very, very excited about. Track for far too long. My mind is loving the break. Christina's on Instagram. We just love people and we want them all to be successful. That's all I want for all of y'all, is to be successful at the end of the day. What Lissa said about getting along. Yep. This is good. Give me a hot second. I'm almost there, guys. We encourage and support each other. When is the diet bet over? The diet bet ends next Monday. Of course, like our weigh-in is the 28th and 29th. So right after my weekend away. I was like, really? It couldn't be like Friday? And Alice is still yelling at me. Sorry I don't have Miss Gracie in here. Gracie was in here, but I kicked her out because I didn't think she'd want to be locked into the room for an hour, hour and a half. Patricia's here. Had to work till 7:45. I'm glad you're here. So next Tuesday is probably when I'll be weighing in. So I have to lose 1.7 as of this morning's weigh-in. Of course, I could fluctuate back up tomorrow, but as of this morning's weigh-in, I need to lose and sustain until Monday or Tuesday 1.7 more. We'll see. I want s'mores. We're still talking about the s'mores. Another thing I don't do is many sweets at all anymore. The most I've had lately is a couple of Hershey's Kisses. Yeah, I'm trying so hard to limit a sweet thing to once a day. And usually my sweet thing is like an Eat Me Guilt-Free brownie or something like that, but I made peach cobbler this week. We got some peaches from the Misfit Market box, and they went from inedible because they weren't ripe to starting to bruise and get mushy. So I was like, oh, obviously this means I have to make a peach cobbler because we can't let all the fruit go to waste. And that's what I did. And it was amazing. If you're interested, the recipe I used is from a website called Pinch of Yum. It's exceptional. It's absolutely exceptional. But so we've had peach cobbler in the house since the weekend, and it appears to be working well too. I don't know. I miss sweets. You could, like, I mean, Sarah, it's good that you don't do them, but if you miss them, if you feel deprived because you don't have them, you could, oh wow, I got all of you on this person, and I didn't even see what he said, but I'm just seeing notifications that my mods are on it. Lost my train of thought. You could work something in even once or twice a week if that can keep you from having more cravings. For some people, adding it back in triggers the cravings, but for others like me, I need to know that I can have that little something sweet, in order for me to not feel deprived. Beachbody is awesome and cheap. So many programs on there. I made a great tasting smoothie this morning. A not so great tasting smoothie, so I added some water enhancer flavor to it. Good smoothie, but not overly flavored. The water enhancer helped. Interesting. I've never done that. You're spot on. Please watch Paul Why You Need More Protein on a Cut. Yes. I need to write down that name. But yes, that is exactly why I'm learning all about, like, if you are in a bulk, like a bulk means you're eating a surplus of calories. If you're in a bulk, but you are not weightlifting, that bulk, those surplus, thank you, Miranda, then I don't have to write it down. Then the bulk will cause you to gain fat. However, if you are keeping your protein up in a bulk and you are weightlifting, your body will channel those extra calories into gaining muscle. So the macros kind of do count based on what you want. And the same thing happens in a cut. If you just cut your calories, hear me, people who are on Weight Watchers and wondering why when their calories are so low and whatever. I got down to my teeny tiniest weight by using Weight Watchers Points Plus, right? And, but I wasn't focused on the protein intake. I was focused on just the lowest points possible so I could get the weight off and be done with it. And I don't have any, well, I do now. Old Brianna did not have any muscle mass on her body to begin with. And I wasn't really strength training. Like, I was going for like core training to kind of trim things up a little bit. And I did like your standard stuff with a little bit of effort, but not like truly die hard, let me put some muscle on this body like I'm doing now, right? And it's no wonder that I looked like a stinking twig when I was at my skinniest weight, because the likelihood that I was actually losing fat versus muscle was very low. Like, yeah, some fat got lost, but muscle probably went with it. But if you are in a cut and you're trying to lose fat, you need to keep the protein up so your body keeps the muscle mass on your body instead of using that for energy instead. It's fascinating. Nutrition study is fascinating, ladies and gentlemen. 200 calories is more, which isn't bad. That's not bad at all, actually. It tastes like protein. I missed what tastes like protein. Tastes like protein. Oh, the stuff I get is just pure unsweetened and unflavored whey protein powder. Julie's thinking the mods are taking care of it. Yes. So that can actually kind of springboard into the topic that I wanted to talk about, which is what we're already talking about, truly. Our friend there suggests you drink some green tea. Wait, did he really? Did he really suggest I drink green tea? Did it have oregano in it, ladies and gentlemen? What I wanted to talk about, because I'm on this adventure and on this cut and in this diet bet and everything in real time, it is Shape Up September. Follow with the word stupid. Oh, drink some green tea, stupid? That's what he said? Look, green tea is good for you. Green tea is good for you. Green tea is not going to be the thing that helps you lose weight. It's not. Sorry, it's not. Calorie deficit. Calorie deficit. The end. For fat. Now, let's make that differentiation again, because it's very, very important, and I actually think that it applies to some of my friends who are working on some body recomposition right now, who are toying with maintenance, toying with changing plans, things like that. There is a difference between weight loss and fat loss. And ultimately, I think that we get that, we blur those lines, don't we? We blur those lines a lot. We end up obsessed with weight loss. But the goal that we actually have for our bodies is not the number on the scale, it's how we look, right? And the thing that changes how we look is fat loss, not weight loss. Now, obviously, if you have a lot of weight to lose, or even not too much weight to lose, if I lose weight, if I lose 15 or 20 pounds or if I lose, in fat or whatever, I'm going to lose weight. The scale's going to go down. That just is what it is. But then there are other people, like once I get down to weight 155, 150, who's to say that any other fat loss is actually going to result in weight loss on the scale? Because the two are not the same. And we, especially when we end up in a cycle of weigh in every week and Weight Watchers and this and that and the other thing, it's very easy to end up so obsessed with the number that we lose sight of the big picture, which is the fat loss that we have achieved, the body recomposition we have achieved, the nutrition that we have achieved. So I just want to bring that back to light, to the forefront of your brains, because I know there are people struggling out there with maintenance mode and weight gains of such an insignificant amount that it's toying with them. And you don't need to, thanks, John. Thank you for stopping in. That you need to focus on the prize here. Focus on the prize. You've stopped weighing yourself. Good for you. Good for you. Because you were getting a little obsessive, which I know is awesome and necessary when you've had weight loss surgery. But I told you it was going to slow down at some point, and it doesn't matter how much you tell yourself you're okay with the weight number X or size number X, it's still going to mess with you. It's still going to mess with you. No matter if you're at goal, it's still going to mess with you. You go up 2 pounds and you're going to be like, what the heck? I was at goal yesterday. It doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, this bottle of water weighs 1.5 pounds. I can chug this thing in less than 30 seconds. And boom, I've gained 1.5 pounds. Right? This is a gallon. A gallon weighs 8 pounds. This is what I drink every single day. I literally put on 8 pounds in just water every single day. So, perspective of fat loss versus weight loss, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, I use the term weight loss and fat loss interchangeably because, especially for SEO on YouTube, weight loss sounds better. Weight loss is what people are searching for. Fat loss is what they want, but weight loss is what they're searching for, right? That being said, I want to tell you guys a little bit about the things that have been helping me besides, the random fat whoosh that I wake up to on a Monday morning, which praise Jesus for that. That made me feel a whole lot better about life. I shouldn't have needed that validation, but because I'm on a time crunch, that's the only reason that I'm like, give me the weight loss. Give me the weight loss. And I actually mean weight loss because I need the scale to say a certain number by Tuesday. Otherwise, I lose my diet bet. I'm perfectly aware of the fact that there's a possibility that I lose, and that's okay. But it would be nice to try. So for the next week, I'm still hanging on bated breath with every weigh-in that I have. But that being said, there are things I'm noticing throughout this month that are helping me tremendously. And the big thing, if you watch my vlog, you already heard about this. But the biggest thing I think that made a difference, why did I wake up on Friday after doing everything right all week long with basically no weight loss to show for it? Point 2, right? I had nothing to show for it when I needed the weight to go down by pounds, and it was going down by 0.2 pounds. And then on the weekend, where I loosened the reins a little bit, was not as active, slept in until 8:30 on both days, and had peach cobbler every day. What happened? Rest happened. And recovery happened, and sleep happened. And I really think that there is such an emphasis on do all the workouts that we forget that you have to recover from all the workouts. And it's not just workout recovery, but like actual sleep. Actual sleep. Getting a reasonable amount of quality sleep every day. And you guys know I have been struggling with that. And I don't know if it's my fault. I don't know if it's my husband's fault. I like to say it's my husband's fault, but like I've still not slept through a night. But I've been in bed for longer periods of time. There was one of the nights during the weekend I was in bed, according to my app, for over 9 hours. And I in total got more sleep than I had been getting during the week. And then I woke up on Monday morning with this amazing loss. And I'm like, what? What? So sleep. Sleep is a fundamental thing that you need to be able to do all the things to prevent you from overeating because you're looking for quick bursts of energy. Because spoiler alert, the energy that we reach for, especially this is me especially, I don't know if it's any of you, but the when I'm tired, I automatically crave. It is not me going, I'm tired and crabby, let me emotionally eat. My body literally tells me, eat all the carbs. Eat all the carbs, which makes perfect biological sense because carbs are the quick energy, you know? And it's not like eat all the vegetables. It's eat the bread. It's eat the sugar. It's eat the candy. It's eat the whatever, because that's the quick burst of energy. So when you sleep better and you get that rest, you are less likely to need that quick burst of energy, and you can fuel yourself appropriately. Sleep and rest has been huge for me. And I'm still not getting, like, I'm surviving today, actually, which feels really good. But I'm trying to make sure that I get better quality sleep. And the more I focus on it, it's almost like the more anxious it makes me. I say I have sleep anxiety, but, you know. So that's tip 1. I'm catching up on all my stuff here. Stepped on the scale one last time. Not going to step on the scale again until January. Good for you. This is why I don't drink water. Definitely tempted to step on, both because I want to see the number go down and I don't want it to go up. Yeah, don't step on it. Don't step on it. Messing with your mind that it's going up. I'm the worst rester on earth. I think I need meds to slow down. Take the rest, people. Right? But you also, like, are you tired, Miranda? Because I feel like you're just the freaking Energizer Bunny. And if you can go, then that's great. But do you get quality sleep at night? And also, do you feel tired? That's what I'm wondering. Because me, if I don't get it, like, my day's shot. Which is why last week was such a brutal week for me. No, I'm never tired. It's awful. Gosh, trade me, will you? I'll give you some of my exhaustion. I'd be happy to do that for you. It's kind of scary eating an extra 380 to 580 calories over my weight loss goals. I made an effort to make sure I'm 99% ready for bed before sitting down for this. That is brilliant. As soon as I'm done here, I have to watch America's Got Talent tonight. If you're watching it, don't tell me anything about it. but we caught up finally so I can vote in tonight's last final round. And so I had to record it because it's on now. And I'm like, when I'm done with my live stream, I'm going downstairs, washing all this off, putting pajamas on, getting ready for bed, and we're going to watch America's Got Talent so I can vote and go straight to bed. That's the plan. So true. I realized I will binge on carbs when I'm tired and cranky, and I will fight sleep even knowing that's what we need. Isn't that the darndest thing? The crankier and more overtired we get, the less likely we are to actually go to bed and get the rest. So the thing that I have been doing, and like Lisa just said, like I've been trying to get ready for bed earlier. Last night I was in bed by 10 o'clock. I didn't put my phone down until like 10:30. That's a whole other goal. But I was in bed, decompressing, poking at a game, not looking at social media or anything, just poking at the game that makes my eyes droopy, and was asleep by 10:30, which was perfect. But I got ready for bed at like 8:30. Not joking. Like everything, I did all the things at 8:30 because I knew the later it got, the more of a struggle it was going to be for me to do all the things to get ready for bed. And it would take me longer, and then it would, and then I wouldn't get into bed until 11 o'clock, and then I'd be crabby about the fact I was getting to bed at 11 o'clock, and it's a cycle. It's a cycle. I want that problem, right? I started taking a sleep protect to sleep 5 solid hours a night because I can't shut off. What? That's insane. That is insane. Someone told me it's restless legs from running too much. It's all that energy you get from a clean vegan diet. All the carbs. Okay, Lisa already said it. Apparently being cranky and overtired but refusing to sleep is a toddler habit we haven't outgrown. It's true. It's true. I had to speed read 60% of a book last night. Was due today at the library. Ebook would have disappeared. Oh, no. Made a goal last year, no electronics in bed, good old-fashioned book, and now trying just to go to sleep if I can. That's definitely something that I need to work on. I've been to a sleep doctor before who had to basically give me permission one time to stay up later because my quality of sleep was so poor. So, if you're in bed for 8 hours, but you only get quality sleep 50% of the time, it is more beneficial for you to be in bed for 5.5 or 6 hours and get quality sleep 80 or 98% of the time than to be in bed for 8 hours but get the lower quality sleep. And there's something about having a doctor tell me that. So I'm trying to make sure that I go to bed at a reasonable hour to get the number of sleep that I want. But if I'm not tired, I won't go into bed. But poking at this match 3 game that I play makes my eyes droopy. So I will fall asleep. I'll be able to I'll poke at it, and then I'll realize my blinking will get longer and longer, and then finally I'll go, oh, I'm falling asleep, and I'll close the app and I'll put the thing down. In a perfect world, my phone's not even in the bedroom, but baby steps. So sleep. The next thing that's been helping me has been the new macros, which is, been a whopping 2 days, but I don't want everybody to freak out when they hear me saying, oh, my macros. It's literally the same thing I've always been doing. My numbers changed ever so slightly. I get a little bit fewer calories for now till we see what my body's doing. So my goal is 1550 instead of the 1700. And which was my goal for myself for Shape Up September was 1500 to 1700. So now I just have a more solidified, this is your goal, 1550 to 1600, much smaller window, right? And 140 grams of protein and slightly lower fat. I can't remember my exact breakdown, but so much so. And then now the goal is to still focus on calories first, still focus on protein second, but actually pay attention to the balance of the other two. They can fall where they may, but it's better if you get them in the range, which today for me meant swapping out. I had salmon salad for lunch, but I did have to make the choice to swap out my full fat mayonnaise for light mayonnaise to save myself a couple grams of fat. And I did have to make the choice I had a fat-free yogurt, which was amazing. I mixed 2 grams of collagen protein, or 2 scoops of collagen into that, and opted to not put almond butter in there because I needed to save the fat. So it's just making me much more mindful of all of the macros that I'm putting into my body. Again, I'm still having peach cobbler when I'm done here. So, which is straight sugar and butter and all that jazz. But that's been helping me. It's been helping me be more accountable and be more scientific. It's essentially gamified things for me, and which I noticed today. I'm like, what can I do? How can I shift things around to get these numbers to say what I want them to say? And it turned into a game until I found the perfect combination. And I'm going to have to play that game again tomorrow. So kind of just gamified things for me, which is fun. So that's another thing that's been helping me. Pre-planning and tracking. Y'all, this is the best piece of advice I can give to anybody who needs to stay on track. Track all of your food in the morning. I had my entire day planned before I even had breakfast this morning. My entire day. I know that's not always possible, but when you meal prep, it's mostly possible. So I know exactly what's in my house. I know that we're having salmon for dinner tomorrow, so I'm not going to have salmon for lunch tomorrow. I doubled the protein in my chili recipe so I could have a higher protein chili, and I was just able to, again, move those blocks around first thing this morning. And when I opted to not have a smoothie this morning, but have some zucchini pumpkin oat bars instead, everything fell into place. Pre-track your food. It is so helpful. It's twofold. Don't get me wrong. Pre-track your food is step 1. Sticking to that pre-tracked food is step 2, which is sometimes easier said than done. I understand, but it's really, really helpful. The macros feel like Tetris. It really does. That's what I felt like I was playing today. Honestly, I was like, as the fat eked over and I'm like, oh, but I need more carbs and less fat. What can I do? What happens if I remove the full fat mayonnaise and replace it with light mayonnaise? What happens? That's the game I was playing today. It was crazy, but I loved it. Like, I enjoyed it. I know there are going to be days that I don't enjoy it, but because I have all of my food prepped and I know what's available to me, I played Tetris today. And once I got the perfect puzzle, I got those 4 rows all in a row. The block is gonna disappear. Anybody Tetris nerds? I got that perfect. You got it all set up, and then that line is just gonna come on in and eliminate all 4 rows, right? That's what today was for me. It was perfect. And so again, because I pre-tracked that, anytime I got the urge to stray, I was like, but I don't want to jack up this perfect game. I have a perfect game in my hand and I don't want to mess it up. And that is what has kept me on track today. And then there's something that Lissa reminded me that I said I was going to talk about and I never did. And this is something that was brought to light by Amber, the Biceps After Babies, and I'm the macro testress queen. Don't be surprised if I start texting you being like, help me with something, whatever it is. Just because I know you have macro experience. That's the word I was looking for. I'm sorry, I'm watching the conversation about the Eat Me Guilt Free stuff happening. I forgot that you had that bread, Christina. I might have to steal some of that while I'm there to get my protein in. Anyway, what Amber said, well, I was listening to a podcast called How Long Should You Cut? And think about it. All of my friends that are here, how long have we been in a cut? And a cut just means an aspiring goal of a calorie deficit. That's what a cut is. You're either cutting, maintaining, or bulking. Cutting means calorie deficit. How long have you been in a cut? I have been trying for a cut for about 10 years, right? Except for the last, 2 months or whatever, where I'm like, I was still trying to track in a cut, but I really was ending up eating more in maintenance and just not caring about it. Now, granted, the weight has gone up and down and up and down. I haven't always been eating in the cut, but I've always been aspiring for a cut since, for a decade, right? Her recommendation, 18 years, right? Right. Get ready to get your mind blown. Her recommendation for how long you should cut is no more than 20 weeks. 20 weeks. And so she said something that it blew my mind. Like, that's not even the part that blew my mind. Given the fact that I've been dieting for 10 years and saying you should only be in a cut for about 20 weeks. She said, so many people focus on a goal weight. Instead of a goal weight, focus on a goal date. And what she means is this. And this is, I think, how I'm going to do it. If you're not supposed to, she goes, ideally you only cut for about 12 weeks or so. But if you know your max is no more than 20 weeks. I started my official cut the week of September 1st, right? If I tell myself I'm going to cut from now until my birthday, right? That's one, now being that first week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 weeks. Isn't it so much easier on your brain to know, to go, like if you say you're going to start and you go, okay, I'm going to cut from today until my birthday. And then when it is my birthday, I am done cutting. And whatever weight loss and fat loss has occurred is what your goal is now to maintain for a period of time. And she suggests 2 to 3 months at minimum in maintenance mode. So her cycle is literally cut for a period of time, short period of time. So if I cut from the beginning of September until my birthday, then I kind of reverse up, slowly go up, right? Until for a couple of weeks, get into a maintenance mode. It might take more than a couple weeks, I don't know. And then you sit there. So picture this with me, because the timing of my proposed idea couldn't be more beautiful. I cut from the beginning of this challenge until my birthday, and then I slowly reverse up. And that has me eating more food through Thanksgiving, through the holiday season, and through Christmas, right? So I automatically build in a weight loss, a fat loss, a cut break into the holidays. And then I can choose whether or not I want to cut again on January 1 or if I want to cut again on February 1. But my only goal from my birthday on is to maintain whatever loss I had achieved from September through November 14th. And so when you go into this being like, okay, I am on this train, this cutting train, this low calorie, stay on track with my points or whatever it is you're doing for 12 weeks. Isn't it so much easier because you can already see the light at the end of the tunnel? Instead of going, I'm on this train for 25 pounds. What happens if you only lose 10? Well, that's fine. So maintain the 10-pound weight loss for a while and then go back and cut again. Right? It makes it sound so much more manageable. And why didn't I think of this? It's so brilliant. It's so brilliant because the place that we all fail anyway is maintaining our loss. So it would stand to reason that we spend more time learning how to maintain at different increments along the weight loss journey anyway. And I thought that was so fascinating. So even doing that, kind of just totally revamps the goal, right? It revamps all the goals. Ultimately, would I like to see a number on the scale that is lower than what I'm at right now? Absolutely. I have a goal range in mind. But because one of my rules going into 2020 was I will not have a weight loss goal in 2021, that was one of my rules, and I'm going to stick to that. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to cut for a period of time in 2021. But if the number, outside of this diet bet, pretend the diet bet doesn't exist. But if the number doesn't matter, as long as you're cutting and you're being accountable and being consistent for that short period of time, and then you reverse back up. Now, you have to work to maintain. Going back up doesn't mean going to eat whatever the heck you want. You have to actively work to maintain the weight loss you have already gotten. But then you just stay there, and then you go, okay, so maybe I lost 7 pounds the first round. Couple months, I stay there at that 7-pound loss, and then I decide to cut again for another 12 weeks. Maybe 10 pounds comes off then. Okay, there goes 17 pounds. And it might take the entirety of 2021 to get to where I consider goal. Hey, Lou, good to see you. It might take an entire year to get to what I would be considered goal weight where I can reverse up to maintenance and stay there. But how much easier on your mind and on your metabolism would that journey be? This was just the most... I listened to this podcast and I couldn't even believe it. I was like, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I think is truly what I'm going to do. Because I already see a light at the end of the tunnel. September's almost over. My birthday is a month and a half away. And that's the end date. I don't want to have to worry about a caloric deficit on my birthday. So however much progress I make, the podcast, it's called the Biceps After Babies Radio. And I can't remember which, I'm using my phone, fool. I can't remember which episode it is, but it's literally titled, How Long Should You Cut? So good. Highly recommend everybody listen to it if this is at all intriguing to you. And I'm seeing the reaction. Cake time for Alice. Bye. Have fun. Take a video, please. Thank you. And then send it to me because I can't FaceTime in right now. And it is, Alice is my 4-year-old niece. I don't know if you knew that, and that was her mother. Today is her birthday. So we're going and celebrating this weekend, but she gets to go have cake too today. But yeah, isn't that just the most freeing thing? Hello. So that's my plan. And I thought it was so genius that I wanted to share it with you guys because the thing that really got me was don't set a goal weight, set a goal date. And all of a sudden, all of this is manageable, right? Am I crazy in thinking all of it's manageable? It was just like, I love it. We want everything fast, including weight loss. Exactly. And maintenance is where we all fail. It's where we all fail. So why not work on it throughout the journey? It's so smart. It's so stinking smart. I can't handle it. Rosie, calorie counting is a game. Me, I loathe calorie counting. Cut then maintain makes it sound so much more manageable. When I started looking at taking a break from weight loss and scale, I thought about doing something like this, having scheduled breaks from weight loss mode. Everybody should have scheduled breaks from weight loss mode. You really should. Who came up with this? I joined late, so I missed some stuff. Bria, and you're the one who asked about the podcast. Biceps over after babies. Biceps after I keep saying biceps over babies, which for this child-free woman makes a whole lot of sense, right? But her podcast is biceps after babies. That's her website. That's her podcast, whatever. Amber Brewski, she's the one who I'm doing the Macros 101 course with. And I can't remember what episode it is, but biceps after babies. 76. Thank you, Jennifer, for finding that. But, oh man, it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. I love that it's not ruining any weight loss progress as well because maintaining, seriously, so smart, like a light bulb right now. I love that. Yeah. And that's the whole point. It's not lose 5 pounds and then gain it back. It is lose 5 pounds, stay there. But in order to stay there, you got to come out of a calorie deficit. You can't go into a surplus, but you have to come out of a deficit, which means more food, which means stoking your metabolism to keep that thing fired up, which means maybe cutting with fewer or with more calories, like all that, instead of just tanking and completely blowing your metabolism. And then, so you lose your 5 pounds, and then you stay. A couple months later, oh, let's do another cut. Oh, you lose 10 pounds. Then you stay. And it's just, yes, it's long term, but how many times do we have to say, slow and steady wins the race? Everybody looking for fast fat loss is not going to achieve it, or at least not easily. And they're not going to maintain it easily. This, I think, is just a brilliant way to go. I really do. So that is what I'm going to be working on for the near future. It is called the Biceps After Babies Radio. Biceps After Babies Radio. Someone said episode 76. Oh, man. It's got to be better than gain, lose. Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's just it makes so much sense, doesn't it? And we're so blinded by the number that we don't think logically. We, the collective Weight Watchers, weight loss, whatever you want to call it, we don't think like that. We think we need to have a loss every week at the scale from now until we hit goal. Nobody teaches us that maintaining our current loss is okay. And it is okay. And it actually is probably advised. You know? Maintenance is a daily struggle. Yeah, it really is. I really hope that whenever it is I get to goal, I can figure it out this time around. I tell you, well, and with the practicing, like, the goal will be, let's see where I'm at on my birthday, right? And let's see if I can maintain that, whatever, if I can weigh on Jan 1 what I weigh on November 14th, win. It's a win. Because it will mean I have survived the entire holiday season on maintenance. And then maybe Jan 1, I'll cut again. I don't know. When you go into the studio and the whole room claps for a loss. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, a loss is great. But I was also reminded of the fundamental flaw. My guilty pleasure is The Biggest Loser. And because we currently have access to the current season, I'm watching it. I'm way behind. Like, I know it's over and everything right now, but I'm in the middle of it. And I love the inspiration that it gives me. I love watching people change their lives. I loathe weigh-in. I loathe it. And here's why. Because a 5-pound weigh-in, like a 5-pound loss in 1 week, is not good enough in their eyes. In the people's eyes, the people losing go, I'm not pleased with that number. I'm like, freaking 5 pounds. I haven't lost 5 pounds in a month in ages. And you're complaining about losing only 5 pounds in a week? And this is where it all gets really skewed, right? And it's just, ooh-wee. So I have a love-hate relationship with that show. But it's my guilty pleasure. And it's just, but it makes you think. Like, everybody puts all the emphasis on the losing of the weight. Not the losing of the fat, the losing of the weight. And there was something else that I heard in this course that was profound, right? Have you ever been around when somebody gives you the comparison of, like, this is a pound of fat, and you're holding a pound of fat. Like, think of a pound of butter, right? That's 1 box of butter, right? When you lose a pound of fat, you lose that pound of butter. But then people go, but pinch an inch somewhere. I didn't lose that mass in 1 week. I didn't lose that mass. How can you say that I lost a pound of fat? Well, we forget that pound of fat doesn't come off from one place. It doesn't come off from my left cheek or my right butt cheek or whatever. It comes off everywhere. So if you're taking a little bit of fat from all the places, it adds up to that pound of butter. You know? So it's just a little perspective. It's just a little perspective. And we don't praise that fat loss. We don't praise that even if the scale, 1.5 pounds, right? If I drink this and negate all of my weight loss, but my measurements changed, does that get praised? Is that good? Does that mean you did good because the scale stayed the same? But, or maybe let's go with a better perspective. In a period of a month, you only lost 2 pounds, but you lost 3 inches off your waist or something. Like, do you get criticized? Do you criticize yourself for the fact you only lost 2 pounds? Or do you praise yourself that you are now a size smaller in jeans even though you only lost 2 pounds? Like, perspective, people. It's not about weight. It's not about weight loss. It's about fat loss. Like, So all of these things, all of these elements that I have spent the last hour talking about are things that truly have been playing into my success lately, even if the scale doesn't go down, because that's been, crazy frustrating. But also it's been swirling around in my mind, like all of these ideas, all of these thoughts about cutting versus maintaining and reversing, and how I only have to get to mid-November and then I can slowly add in more calories for a while, and then the holiday season, and all of these things, and then just the hope and the strategy that this method will probably work a lot better. I have been sitting roughly around the same weight for the last 2 years or so. So if I haven't moved in the last 2 years or so, or gone maybe up or down, I can't remember. Let's say gone up or down 7 or 8 pounds in the last year, right? So it's taken me 2 years to change 10 pounds and go in between these this decade and this decade. 2 years. Why? Why should I complain about it taking another year of this slow but steady lose and maintain, lose and maintain, lose and maintain cycle to finally get to goal? I've already wasted enough time trying, but not really trying. So what if I actually tried and just got it done in these shorter clips? Because then you avoid deprivation. Then you avoid all of the things. I don't know. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I'm a med student taking anatomy right now, and let me tell you, fat is everywhere. Yeah, fat is everywhere. So that's how you lose it. If you lose 4 pounds, of actual fat in a week, it's not all coming from the tummy. That's why over time it's like you just shave off a little layer and a little layer, like an onion or something. Samantha's here. Hello. It does annoy me that WWE renamed the weigh-ins wellness check-ins, but they're still just weigh-ins. That has nothing to do with your wellness. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. Personally, nothing against those of you that are finding success with the plan, but I am not mad that I have stepped away from Weight Watchers. I feel much more secure in myself and in my plan having stepped away. The whole illustration of this is a pound of fat kind of bugs me because it makes people think if they lose 1 or 5 pounds, it's all fat. Yes, and notice that that's not what I said. I was very careful to be like, even with my 4 pounds, even if you lose 4 pounds of fat, because it's not all going to be fat. That is for sure the case. But even if you lose half a pound of fat a week, that's 2 pounds by the end of the month. Maybe the scale changed more than that, but you still lost 2 pounds of fat. But slowly and surely and whatever. And it takes weeks and weeks and weeks before you actually see the progress in your body. Not on the scale. And that's the killer of it all, is you have to remember all of the different data points that go into summing up what your current weight loss journey looks like. The scale is one data point. Your measurements is one data point. So they're all pieces of data. Your photos are one data point. How you're sleeping is another data point. Your mood is another data point. Your energy is another data point. And it's all just information that you then take and figure out what modifications you need to make for your body moving forward. And then you continue to collect that data. I urge you, do not depend on one piece of data alone. Or if you do, don't make it a scale. Stepping away was definitely the right decision for me, but I still miss Weight Watchers. I used to feel so embarrassed when I stepped on the WW scale and there was no change or the scale went up. And it happens. And like the worst part is there are days where you could weigh in. My weigh-in day is Thursday. So you could weigh in, or Friday. If I weighed in on Thursday and I had a 2 pound loss, this is amazing. I'm going to have a perfect day to make sure that I maintain that 2 pound loss. You could do everything right and still go on to the scale on Friday and be up those 2 pounds, thus showing no loss. It is entirely possible, which is very frustrating, which is part of the reason I'm slowly learning that the weighing every day feels pretty good because you can see the fluctuations. It's frustrating when you go for a week and a half without a single dip. That's annoying. But once you see it, you're like, oh, okay. And so I'm fully expecting to go back up a little bit. And then I'm like, it's all just data. It's all data. I'm new to iTrack Bites. Welcome. because I just have gained about 5 pounds, but I'm so glad to be done with WW. I had a hard time letting go because I've been off and on for decades. I did too. When I let go, I was like, oh, like it took me a little while to be like, did I make the right choice? Now I fervently believe I have made the right choice. So I just miss the friends I made at the meetings. I get that. I get that. I miss friends anywhere right now. Oh my goodness. I told you guys that, yeah, I think I told you guys last week that the article that I read about getting a vaccine says that maybe we'll have a vaccine by Q3 of 2021. And then my father-in-law actually told me something interesting about the Spanish flu, because this keeps getting compared to the Spanish flu because the whole pandemic thing. It took, between all of the catching it and dying from it and recovering from it, it took 18 months until everything was back to normal. In the Spanish flu, they masked, they social distanced, they did all the things just like we're doing right now. And it took 18 months and they were back to normal. Q3 of next year will be 18 months since this started. I was like, interesting. There's your fun fact for the day. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We've still got a long ride ahead of us, but we're going to make sure that we still, friends, isn't that what the, yes, but like seeing friends. It's different, Lissa. It's different. I don't actually see your lovely faces. I don't actually get to hug you and have coffee with you and do all those things. Like, friends. Which is why I'm so bummed about not going to this wedding, because I'd literally be in a room filled with all of my favorite people. And we're not going because of COVID. 18 months, yeah. So buckle up, work on that new normal, ladies and gentlemen. But that's why it's the perfect time to work on the cutting and maintaining cycle and all that, because I'm like, I'll be darned if 2020 isn't going to end on a positive note, because it needs to. It needs to. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I was full of random information for you tonight. So does anybody have anything that they would like me to touch on? Any comments, any questions they would like to have answered? Because if not, I will be happy to sign off here a little bit early. Make sure you guys get over to Jordan on time over on the iTrack Bites Live and all that jazz. All that jazz. So let me know if you guys have anything. I'll give you a hot second. I see Glitter Pumpkin again. It just makes me so happy. That could be the COVID 100 pounds. Better smarten up. Don't I know it? Yeah. If you think you are still in quarantine, you are sorely mistaken. And like, I even told my husband, he said something about quarantine. I'm like, we're not quarantined anymore. We are self-isolated. We are not quarantined. Because everything else went back to normal. But it's so easy to be like, oh, we're still not social. We're still not doing this, that, or the other thing. Don't let it derail you. And I'm so thankful we put together the home gym, and I'm so thankful that I finally was like, let's get this tracking thing done. Let's do all the things, because now I feel very in control, and I actually feel better. Hi, Kim. I actually feel better about not going out all the time. Like, we try to go out at least once a week, but sometimes that doesn't happen, and it's fine because I'm in total control. And so I'm like, well, might as well make the most of what we got, right? Life gives you lemons. Make a really stellar pot of 2020 lemonade. Speaking of weddings, found out yesterday that the church didn't get booked for our wedding in November, and now we're waiting to hear back. Oh, no. That's hard. That's so hard. Semi-quarantine. I'm avoiding church until further notice, but I'm still going to go to the store until someone says otherwise. Yep. Oh, your mom and sister got tested? I don't think I knew that. Yeah, no, I actually emailed and reached out to the leader of the worship team that I'm supposed to be joining. I'm in the middle of auditioning for, back in March, just to be like, hey, I want to let you know I'm still here, because we haven't gone back to church yet, but I think it would be okay for me to go to participate in the worship team, because I'd be further, like, we'd be on stage, socially distanced, and they're pre-recording a lot of things. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm very nervous, but try not to let it get to me till absolutely necessary. Yeah. Don't worry about it until you get the call and you have to worry about it, you know? Just happened today. They probably caught what I had. Huh. Okay. My mom's choir just started practicing again, and they're all 70 and older, and oh, that is terrifying. That is very terrifying. There is a friend of my sister-in-law, or a friend of a friend, or whatever, a dancer who's in, my age, early 30s, peak physical condition, masked and socially distanced appropriately always, still caught it and ended up in the hospital with like pneumonia and the works. The works. Oh my gosh, the works. And it's, the thing is, Diana, everything's open. Everything, I mean, I don't know where you are, but everything is open. So now it's a matter of choosing whether or not you go out and everything. So, and we personally are not, because my husband's paranoid, but I'm high risk because I have not one, but two underlying or pre-existing conditions. Hello. So for me, we don't know, like, you just, the biggest problem with this is you just don't know. You don't know how your body's going to react. You could be asymptomatic and it could be perfectly fine, or you could end up like that perfectly healthy 30-something-year-old dancer man and in the hospital for weeks and recovering and not able to walk without a cane for assistance. Like, and the problem is you just don't know. That's the part that makes it scary. If I knew that catching this would just mean I'm out with a really, like, something that felt like the flu for a week, I'd be a lot less worried. But there's no guarantee that I wouldn't end up in a hospital and on a respirator. You know? Oh. It's only 18 months, guys. We can do it. It's only 18 months. Are they having services in person? Yes, they are. You have to RSVP for them, and I love both of my church from back home and my church that we're going to are currently doing them. They're fully offering online services for anybody who doesn't want to come in, but you have to RSVP and like buy a ticket. You don't actually have to buy it, but they're only allowing a certain number of people in each service so they can keep people adequately socially distanced the whole time, which is great, which is awesome. Everything's open in Georgia. We're saving money by staying in. I've got diabetes, and in our area, 37% of both hospitalizations and deaths have been people with diabetes. Yeah, that's one of those things. Like, you don't know, so why risk it? So just be safe. But there's also that balance of like, how much caution do you take? What is overcautious versus cautious enough? Like, us staying home for pretty much everything, is that too cautious? Like, we haven't been to friends' houses or anything. We've gone to Illinois once. My parents came here once, and we're going to Illinois again this weekend, where we are only seeing family. Is that too cautious? Probably, but we don't know. We just don't know. So we just don't know when, like, do we try to go to church once? Do we? It's the not knowing. The not knowing is the hardest part. But you're right. It's saving a ton of money, right? And we don't have a gym membership anymore. And we don't spend money on gas for the cars. And like, we're saving a ton of money by having my husband work from home and me only going to the grocery stores. There's a part of me that wishes I would go ahead and get it before the wedding to be sure I don't have it, but at the same time, I definitely don't want it because of how bad it could be. I know, that's why I'm like, part of me is like, I just want to get it and get it over with. But the other part of me is like, you could end up dead, so maybe don't do that. And we just don't know. That's so hard. I'm avoiding extended gatherings and meetings for now, but I'm okay with going to the grocery store. My church doesn't do masks or social distancing. I would not go to a building that does not do masks or social distancing. I actually confirmed with the person whose wedding we were RSVPing no to, and I was like, it was going to be a 100% non-negotiable no if there were not mandatory masks. But Illinois has mandatory masks. So that's when we had to be like, do we go? Don't we go? Uh, they increased their social gathering numbers was 50 inside, 100 outside, and decreased them back to, wow, okay. They're finding the people who have it come back months later and have a lot of other issues. Exactly, exactly. So it could be very impactful after the fact too, which again is why we're like, I'd really prefer not to get it, but I also really would prefer not to live the next year of my life in a hole under a rock. I mean, we have a nice hole, so it's fine. But still, I just miss people. I think if you have underlying conditions, you need to take cautions to protect yourselves, but the masks have to go. Oh no. As somebody who is the daughter of a medical professional, I am very anti-maskers. 100%. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but wear a mask. It is unmonitored private social gatherings. Yes, which is why we're not going to the wedding, because it is gatherings like that that tend to be a problem. And once we get the all clear, I'm going to be okay with going to friends' houses if the opportunity arises. Yep. My church meets in someone's living room, so it's more like going to a friend's house. That makes sense. I'm not going to the young adults group or a larger gathering of people who aren't wearing masks. Yep. Nope. So, and outside is always better. Like if you're going to go hang out with people, we're very excited because Alice's birthday party this weekend, it's supposed to be beautiful weather, so we can hang out outside, which is going to be great, and give everybody fresh air, and all the dogs can run around, and the child can run around, and everybody, it'll be good. It'll be good. And we'll be outside and appropriately distanced, and it'll be great. I've had five people have had people over on Friday. We stayed outside and set up chairs 6 feet apart. We froze, but it was fun. Yeah. So that's kind of where it's at. But my point was, hold tight, because this ain't over. So do the best you can. And of course, stay healthy. Stay healthy yourselves. Take your multivitamins. That's one thing that I've been doing to make sure I stay healthy. Like, my biggest problem and my biggest fear, no joke, is because I've been isolated from people other than my husband for so long, that I'm going to go out, and the second I go out and I'm in a group of people, so I don't know, maybe this weekend, I'm going to catch something stupid like the common cold. Just because my immune system has not had to battle people at the gym and people coughing in church and people doing all the things. And I'm going to catch something stupid just because my immune system's like, oh, wait, I have to wake up and work now? Huh? I swear that's what's going to happen. Ugh. Oh, 100% it's why I got sick after babysitting. Yep. Yeah, I need to do that. I take multivitamins and all that jazz every day, but I should start taking vitamin C the rest of the week. That's a really good suggestion, Lindsay. We have some just hanging out. I should make my husband do the same thing. Anyway, I'm going to go, friends. Any last minute comments? This was good. This is why I got the flu 3 times since November. Yeah, I can't quite figure that one out. But I'm like, my immune system's usually pretty solid, all things considered. But I don't put myself in situations, but I'm social. I'm off and doing all the things and being exposed to all the people, right? And so I just feel like even my immune system of kind of steel is going to take a hit because I haven't been exposed to anything. But, and then in other news, fall allergies are happening. I started up my emergency again. Not sure it works, but worth a try. I used to do emergency. Yeah, and then for me, I realized it was a lot of sugar, so I bought vitamin C pills. That's what I bought. And so now I just pop a pill. I wonder about the emergency. It's good, though. Like, it's a good routine. My family and my husband's family would take it whenever we were sick. Why did the comments have stopped popping up on my screen? Like, they're changing here, but they're not changing over there. I went from working with small children, not spend, yep. No, that's true. So the bottom line, fuel your body well, get enough rest, move your body, drink your water, take your vitamins, wear your mask, be kind to people. Is that enough of a to-do list for all of you? Gotta end with be kind to people, because I just feel like that's a reminder that everybody needs lately, you know? I do a ton of kombucha. See, I don't know that kombucha helps me. It helps with other things, but I don't know that I don't think of kombucha as an immune system booster. I guess it kind of is, but I think of it more as of a gut booster. Vitamin C. Yep, vitamin C. That's what it's all about. So, on that note, friends, thanks for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Some good conversation. I hope you learned something beneficial, even if it's considering taking a break from your period of cutting, whether you've been cutting for 10 weeks or 10 years. Maybe it's time for a little break. We'll see. Relies on gut health. Yes, I know that. So maybe that's how the kombucha helps, but it always, oh, thanks, Rosie. So, all right, friends, I will talk to you all next week. Have a wonderful one. I'm sorry I keep looking down, but the messages have stopped popping up, and I don't know why. I don't know why it stopped. So anyway, I will talk to you all later. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy the rest of your week, and happy fall. Today is officially the first day of fall. So pumpkin spice, all the things, plaid, all the pumpkin things. All the pumpkin things, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night.